My best friend's boyfriend called me a fat beach, so I kissed him. My best friend got into a toxic relationship, so I cut her off. Me and Sarah had been best friends since senior year. She was my ride or die. When my dad got sick, she showed up to the hospital with snacks, a blanket, and a charger I didn't even realize I needed. And we literally had a shared Pinterest board titled Our Future Life, full of travel plans, matching tattoos, and apartment decor. There was just one thing about her. She was always the naive type, the type to blindly go through life with a huge heart. She once lent a guy $300 after 3 dates because he swore his account was frozen. So I was always grateful to be in her life, because I thought I could be the one to protect her from people who'd take advantage of her. Until our final year of college when she met Riley. I instantly hated him, and not even in a protective bestie way. In just the first week of meeting each other, he somehow convinced her to turn on her location, while his was still off. We went from FaceTiming all day every day to texting once a week. So of course I was worried. I did everything I could to see her, and when we hung out, I tried to tell her she was being controlled, that he was isolating her. No, he just showed me everyone's true colors, is what she'd always say. Well, some of her friends were actually pretty crappy, so if she cut them off and it ended there, I'd be happy. But no, he forced her to not only cut off her therapist, but also to go no contact with her family and guidance counselor too. She wasn't even allowed to email her male professors about anything, school-related or otherwise, and I knew I had to do everything I could to make sure I wasn't next to be booted from her life. So I offered for them both to come over for dinner. My plan was to be super accommodating to Riley, and to make sure he approved me, so that Sarah wouldn't be forced to cut me off. I did everything. Cooked his favorite meal. Told him that I agreed that it's only okay for men to cheat. Let him jokingly call me a fat beach. And it worked. Too well. Hey, show me where the bathroom is, he demanded. He spoke like a king waiting on a servant. Of course, I said, beaming. And as soon as I opened the door for him, I felt his entire body press against mine. Suddenly his cold lips landed on mine. If you wanted a turn, you could have just asked. His words hit me like ice in the chest. I couldn't even help the scream that escaped my throat. Sarah ran up the stairs and Riley shoved me off of him. Get the F away from me, you a word, he yelled, acting horrified. Tears welled in Sarah's eyes. My heart broke. I knew I had lost her. They left right after, and she immediately blocked me on everything. I couldn't sleep at all that night. Riley had her all to himself. Over the next few weeks, I check up on her with fake accounts I made. I noticed she stopped posting any photos of herself and unfollowed every single male on Instagram, including her godfather. But life goes on, I guess. And I ended up getting my dream job as a fashion designer in a shop nearby. I still thought about Sarah almost every day, though. And whenever I was sad, I'd scroll through our saved media and our chat together. It always made me laugh. I never saw her again. Until a year later, that is. She came into my store, and the first thing I noticed was her baby bump. My eyes widened because she was very pregnant. The second our eyes met, I could feel how tired hers were. Hey, Sarah! My voice couldn't hide my joy. She didn't say anything, just put a white dress down on the table in front of me. A crease formed between my eyes as I inspected the dress, and that's when I saw it. Blood marks. I figured it was just period blood, and had no idea why she had come to me. But then I looked up at her again. Tears rolled down her chin, one after the other. I looked at her a little closer, and noticed a bruise that looked like it had been covered up with concealer on her shoulder. I embarrassed him, she said, voice shaking. I just stayed silent, giving her room to continue. Turns out they had gone to one of his company events together. She wore the white maternity dress, and all his coworkers and their wives were calling her disgusting for flaunting her pregnancy in front of everyone. So he hit her, over and over. My stomach caved in. I rushed her into the staff room and grabbed her phone. Her password was still the same, so I turned off her location. I told her to wait until my shift was over, and I'd drive her to mine, for as long as she needed. She didn't respond, just gave a silent nod. But there was something she didn't know. In the year that we didn't talk, I had built up a lot of hate towards Riley. I had probably imagined 100 different ways of ruining his life, and now it was finally time to execute. The rest of the full story is on my channel and linked below.